the storm tore down the chapel roof, left saints split open like cracked bone true. I walked those aisles with boots full of mud, and still stained with rust and blood. Wind pushed through them shattered doors like ghosts complaining of old chores. But I came back each night alone, not begging mercy, just taking back my throne. I whispered to the dark, I ain't here to be saved, I'm here to stand. Nails in my pocket, faith on the floor, my breath fog wide in the cold like a prayer no one heard before. But every board I lifted felt like lifting my own spine. One crack, one grind, one small rebuild at a time. Yeah, I rose in a house that fell, patch walls built from my own hell. If God walked out, I still walked in, with busted knuckles, carrying my sin. Fire in my chest like a lantern lit. I ain't kneeling down, not one damn bit. If the night wants me broken, it'll have to try harder, 'cause I stand taller in ruins than I ever did in order. Thunder rolled across the pews like heaven arguing with bad news. I hammered down that fractured beam, felt old pain rise like a fever dream. Ash swirled up like falling grace, burnt scripture sticking to my face. And somewhere in the cracks of stone, I heard my own voice, cold but grown. If you walk away, boy, you'll die the same as before. And I answered, then watch me rebuild the man you tore. Sweat drip red in the lantern glow. Pain hit deep, but I hit back slow. By the time that first small candle burned, I knew salvation ain't something you're given, it's something you earn. Yeah, I rose in a house that fell, patch walls built from my own hell. No choir sang, no angels came, just a sinner writing back his name. If the dark wants claiming, let it claim the weak. I found my strength in the cracks that leak. If faith don't want me, I'll forge my own light, 'cause a man reborn in ruins walks stronger through the night. Smoke still clung to the rafters of that burned out music room. Strings curl like dead serpents, resin dust drifting like graveyard bloom. She stood there with her scorched violin, eyes hollow by what she lost. He watched her from the doorway, a quiet man carved from guilt and frost. She whispered, music's dead. He answered low, nah, it's just waiting on somebody who ain't afraid of the hurt. Ash on their boots, heat in their veins, two shadows moving through blackened remains. Every plank they lifted grown like a ghost, but broken folks always rebuild what they need most. Yeah, love crawled back through fire and bone, in a room where the walls forgot their own tone. Two ruined hearts watching one thin light, pulling music out of ashes, pulling breath out of night. Heaven don't want them, hell can't claim the tune that fiddle like speaking their name. Some loves ain't born in the blessing of dawn, they're forged in the dark till the dark is gone. 90 nights of blood on wood, hands split open, still they stood. He tightened every wire like mending a soul. She drew a bow like taking back control. The first note rose thin as a wounded prayer, shaking like a ghost, releasing its fear. They stared as it echoed through the charring soot, something only crawling back under their boots. She breathed. Why's it sound alive? He said, 'cause we are finally. Flame scars on the walls, throw in her chest, two burned out hearts doing their best. That sound, that spark, they didn't ask why. Broken people never trust miracles, they just let them fly. Yeah, love crawled back through fire and bone, in a room where angels wouldn't call home. They carved a melody from ruin and grit, two battered spirits refusing to quit. If the world don't praise them, it don't need to see. Some resurrections ain't meant to be free. Some loves ain't born where the living belong. They rise from the ashes and learn to stay strong. I be sleeping in a dead man workshop, rust hanging off the beams like winter vine. Folks say steel can die out here. Hell, some days I felt the same inside. But one night the wind hit those metal sheets, made it sound like something trying to breathe. And I stood up slow, hands shaking, thinking maybe the world was calling my name one more damn time. I muttered to the dog, if there's a heartbeat left, I'll answer it. So I lit a fire on cracked cement, fed it scrap that looked a lot like me. Broken edges, burnt out pieces, still hoping they could melt back free. Yeah, I heard steel beg for light, and it woke something buried in mine. When the first machine trembled on that line, I swear the earth shook back in kind. Call me crazy, they did, they still will. But madness is just courage nobody else wants to feel. If the world's got breath left and it will, I drag mine out of hell to meet it there. Nights bled in the morning, smoke burning holes in my lungs and my past. I swung that hammer like I was breaking every curse I grew up hearing. You won't make it, you ain't built for fighting. Sparks hit my arms like angry stars, but I didn't back down once. Then that welded beast shook awake, a low rumble like thunder, learning to speak. I laid my hand on his warm steel chest and whispered, if you can stand, you and me both ain't dead yet. On my boots, blood on the floor, but a man ain't measured by what he's done before. He's measured by the nights he refused to fall. even when nobody saw him stand at all. Yeah, I heard steel beg for life, and it dragged me out of my own grave. Every spark was a sermon, every well-to-damn prayer I gave. Let him call it crazy. Truth is louder in the flame, a man reborn in fire. Don't care what the cold world names. If the world still holds a heartbeat, then so the hell do I. And I'll chase that echo till the dark runs dry. Came walking back into that buried graveyard, boots sinking in mud, cold enough to bite through bone. Landslide to the crosses down like fallen soldiers, and you swore love died at the same damn night you walked away. Moonlight slid through the torn hillside, sharp silver meaning when you saw him standing there covered in dirt like he'd been digging for ghosts. Your breath shook like a sinner's first lie. You whisper, we already buried us. But your hands kept trembling, not from fear, from something still alive that you didn't want to name. Yeah, love don't die easy in outlaw country. It just sinks where the ground is soft. And if two fools wanna dig it up, they better bleed till the frost lets go. He wiped earth off a broken cross and said, if it's cold, we can warm it. And that was the first truth you believed in years. Tilted markers like a choir made of rust and regret. You step closer, mud on your palms, heart pounding like it remembered the way home. He held your face like something fragile but forged in fire, and the two of you stood there lost, ruined, stubborn, trying to breathe in the same cold air without shaking apart. Then came that kiss, slow crack, desperate, a vow carved without a word. You felt the earth shift beneath you, not breaking but making room. No heavens open, just two buried hearts remembering how to be. Yeah, love crawls back up through dirt when both souls refuse to quit. It ain't clean, ain't holy, ain't meant for gentle hands. But under a moon sharp as a blade, you learn the dark don't always kill. Sometimes it keeps what the light forgets. And when you kissed him between those falling crosses, you understood. Some love ain't dead, it's just waiting for two broken people brave enough to dig with dirty hands. That year, dreams froze stiff, roads turned mean. And every door I used to knock on stayed shut like it was ashamed of me. Lost my job, lost my people. Hell, even my name felt colder than the air. I walk into the backyard where my daddy's old anvil sat, half buried in ice, looking more like a tombstone than a tool for building men. I laid my hand on that frozen steel and muttered, if something's gonna break tonight, it'll be me or the dark. My breath turned white, my fingers burned numb, but the hammer still rose, 'cause quitting never taught me a damn thing. So I hit that anvil like I was beating every lie ever carved in my skin. First strike, nothing, second strike, pain, 100 strike. Fire crawled out of the metal and into my chest. Yeah, rebirth don't come in miracles, it comes in sparks, sweat and bones that refuse to bend. And I swore right there, I ain't dying in the same shape I was born. Shape I was born. Neighbors watched from the windows, thinking I'd finally snapped, swearing I was destroying something precious. But destruction's easy, rebuilding is the part that costs blood. I swung to my arm, screamed to the ice under my boots, cracked to the moon, dipped low like it wanted to see whether I stand or fall. When the steel glowed red, so did the truth in me. I've been waiting on the world to save me when the world was waiting for me to stop begging and start building. I stared at that burning anvil and whispered, you don't shape metal by praying, you shape it by taking a hit. And the cold backed off, not out of mercy, but out of respect. So I forged myself in the longest night, hammered out the weakness, welded the fear shut, learned the sound my soul makes when it refuses to die. If you've ever stood in the dark with nothing but your breath and one last chance, you know this truth: a man is born once, but he's made every damn time he survives himself. And I walk back inside as someone new, still scarred, still tired, but mine.